This here is Boom Studios' Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Pink comic, issue number 4.
In the last issue, Typhonus was headed underwater with Kimberly and Goldar trapped inside as water was gushing in. This issue begins with Goldar trying to get out, but Kimberly prevents him from doing so, believing they need to work together to escape. Goldar initially refuses to cooperate with Kimberly, and they continue fighting. But Kimberly eventually convinces Goldar to stop their fight and work on an escape plan, so they can go after Verto. Back in the caverns, Verto is turning more civilians into sea creatures in preparation to take over the Earth. But then, Zack and Trini enter the scene and start fighting off the sea creatures. Trini attempts to communicate with Zordon, but Alpha tells her he is fading away. Now, Trini begins talking to Alpha, but she calls him Alpha 5. Kimberly did the same thing when this miniseries began, but even though Alpha's full designation is Alpha 5, Kimberly and Trini always called him Alpha in the TV series. So it's a bit out of place to call him Alpha 5 in the comics all of a sudden. Anyway, Zordon has little time left after sparing his energy to the Rangers. Back in Typhonus, the water has reached a very high level, and Kimberly asks Goldar if he had a fail-safe or escape pod on board. He tells her he doesn't, and that Typhonus was built from Zords. This gives Kimberly an idea for using one of the Zords to detach from Typhonus. She asks if the Firebird Thunder Zord is mostly intact, and Goldar tells her it is small enough to be powered off of Typhonus' power. Kimberly is then dragged down by her mum towards the Firebird. Now, this part I really liked because we see a door with the Firebird emblem on it. This reminds me of the Pterodactyl Dinosaur cockpit because it had the pterodactyl emblem behind Kimberly's seat. And also, we never saw the inside of a Thunderzord cockpit, except for the Thunder Megazord. The design in the comic resembles the movie's Ninja Crane Zord's cockpit with control sticks, so it was like a real aircraft design. So the Firebird detaches from Typhonus, and with Goldar on board, they fly back to the village. With Verto in their sights, Goldar insists Kimberly fires on Verto and the monsters, destroying them all. But Kimberly refuses because she wants to return the humans to normal. There's a brief struggle on board, and Goldar chooses to leave the Firebird, even though Kimberly still wanted to work together. Verto spots the Firebird and recalls Typhonus. Serge is still evacuating the civilians, and he spots the Firebird flying above him. Then the Firebird takes a hit from Verto's attack, forcing the Firebird to make a crash landing. Verto grabs hold of Zack and is ready to deliver a final blow, but Serge dives in to rescue Zack. And then Goldar swoops in to carry Verto into the air. After a short exchange, Verto bites Goldar and Verto falls into the sea. The good guys then regroup in a cave by the beach. The Rangers try contacting Zordon again, and once again Kimberly calls Alpha, Alpha 5. Anyway, Kimberly decides to return Zordon's energy after seeing what Serge and Britt accomplished without any special powers. Alpha says they can cut Zordon's connection to his energy tube, giving the Rangers another 24 hours. With Zordon impressed by Kimberly's new friends, he tells Kimberly to use the Sword of Light to create a new team of Power Rangers, with Serge as the new Blue Ranger and Britt as the new Red Ranger. This was a particularly cool scene as we get to see a female Red Mighty Morphin Power Ranger for the first time. Upon leaving the cave, the Rangers find Goldar on the beach, and they come to an agreement to turn all the humans back to normal before they defeat Verto. Back at the village, the Rangers and the civilians work together to prepare it for Verto's return. We learn here that Zack's French isn't very good, but Trini can speak French fluently. Then Goldar spots something from the air, so the Rangers head out. The Rangers arrive on the scene to find Typhonus with Verto and his sea creatures. And the issue ends here with the good guys and Goldar ready to fight. This was a step up from the last issue in my opinion, as this had better pacing. It was good to see Boom Studios' interpretation of a Thunderzord cockpit, and it was also great finally seeing a full team of Rangers in this series, 2 of which are new to the team.